Welcome into the Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. My name is Andrew Sharp. We'll be talking everything Denver sports and beyond. Please like and subscribe if you are a sports fan like me. Let's do this. Welcome into the Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. My name is Andrew Sharp. The Denver Broncos played their first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara, California, in which the Broncos were okay, but definitely not the showing that I think most of Broncos country was hoping for. They really didn't do a whole lot on the offensive side of the football in the limited reps that the first team offense and Bo Nix had. Overall, it's not something to worry about. The Broncos have been playing well in the joint practice sessions. The game, not so much. I'm not going to take too much away from it for a couple of reasons. The first being is that in the last 5 to 6 years, the preseason in the NFL has definitely declined as a viewing product and an experience. It's mostly a grand 3-game audition to fill out the rest of the roster. It's not really to determine who's starting for your football team. The schemes are very vanilla. The playing is spirited at some points, but other times pretty lackadaisical. And the other part of it that I think doesn't get discussed nearly enough is that the NFL, especially your starting players, are making so much money and cost you so much in not just dollars, but in capital in terms of your football team, that the risk is not worth the reward of getting guys hurt. And so it's a hard watch. However, that being said, I do think that the Broncos can take some of their lackluster performance from the 49er game and move it to the next week in this upcoming match that they have, I believe, against the Arizona Cardinals, and hopefully come out with a better showing than they had. But I want to talk specifically about a few things I saw in the Broncos' preseason win over the San Francisco 49ers starting right now. It's been no secret that the Denver Bronco offense has been behind the Denver Bronco defense all through training camp, and you saw that again against a good 49er defense. Now, I would argue two things. One is, I don't think the Broncos, when the Broncos open up their regular season at home against the Tennessee Titans and then play the Indianapolis Colts after that, neither of those teams has a defense even approaching the caliber of the Niners and Broncos respectively. Not even close. That being said, there's a couple things that the Broncos offense severely needs to work on, and I want to talk about a few of those. One, RJ Harvey, new running back. He was known to bounce it outside basically as he's going, trying to cut the hole, tends to bounce it outside and go out in college, and he's doing the same thing in the NFL. It was pointed out on multiple shows this week about him not running through the hole, and it definitely showed. And he's got to understand that he's playing against NFL linebackers who are as fast or faster than him. So run the scheme, trust your offensive line, do what Sean Payton says, and you'll be just fine. But this is the NFL. You can't just out-athletic everybody. You can't just bounce it outside. Yes, if it is called for at a certain point, I'm okay with it. But not every play. Some plays you just got to, if you're getting 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, RJ Harvey, my hats off to you, buddy. That's the NFL. That's the NFL. Get 4 yards a carry. Rush 20 times for 4.5 yards a carry. You're close to 100 yards. Great day on the ground. So be satisfied with that. You don't have to bounce everything outside. Secondly, speaking of going outside, it's something that I noticed with Bo Nix last year, and I pointed it out a couple times, but he did it again. Speaking of not being able to outrun guys, he tends to, when he drops back, sometimes he will actually do a reverse, not to his throwing side, but to the opposite side of his throwing shoulder. So instead of rolling out so that he can throw it downfield, he will roll the other way and then try to throw the ball across his body. Bo, you got to quit doing that. Don't do that for two reasons. One is, if you really want to be able to get rid of it, you need to roll out to your throwing side so that all of your weight and your momentum, a la Jake Plummer. If you want to roll out like Jake Plummer and then throw it down the field, great. You go to the opposite side. The problem is you have to then replant your feet to establish your throwing motion. And he got caught with it once egregiously. That was how he basically got the safety. Was he rolled out to the opposite side of his throwing motion and then tried to throw it across his body. Bad things happen. Either interception, safety, or honestly, if he does it and he doesn't get rid of it, he's going to take a huge shot right in the chin from one of these defensive linemen, and we're going to be talking about him being out for several weeks. And that's not where the Broncos want to be. So, and I'd say the third thing on the offensive side, at least, is they just need to, it's just more consistency. More consistent in everything. Courtland Sutton had a ball he should have dropped. I mean, all of this is a work in progress. So clearly, they've got things to work on. I actually think, as morbid as this might sound, it's actually better for them to be kind of where they're at right now, because Sean Payton can use this as, this is easy coaching film, because all he has to do is turn it on and go, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this needs to be better. So there's plenty to work on the Broncos offensive side of the ball. On the other side for the Denver Broncos on defense, started out a little rough. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive to the 49ers, and then the Denver defense was fully engaged at that point and really made things very difficult for Mac Jones. Nick Bonito had consecutive sacks on consecutive plays, a couple of disruptive plays, as well as a Jaquan McMillan sighting who managed to pick off Mac Jones as well. I am not a Mac Jones fan. Bo Nix has been compared to Mac Jones lately a lot in the national media, and quite frankly, Bo Nix is not only a better player, I think he's a smarter player, and I don't think that's a fair comparison whatsoever. But defense looks good. You know, it's a work in progress. These preseason games have basically turned into a glorified live tryout for the bottom half of the roster of any NFL team. And so, and I talked about it extensively last year as well. You really can't take a whole lot from any of these games. Certainly do not take away any sort of final result. Yes, I'm happy that the Broncos went ahead and won this game over the 49ers 30-9. But honestly, the players that matter on both teams played so little that you really don't take a whole lot away from that. But the idea is to get guys reps, get certainly rookies and second-year players some acclimation to the speed of the NFL game. And I think the Broncos did that, and we'll look to do that again against the Arizona Cardinals this Saturday. And I'll be looking forward to reacting to that. Once again, my name is Andrew Sharp, Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back after the Denver Broncos play the Arizona Cardinals, and plenty more Bronco news I'm sure to react to as well. Thanks a lot.